Ahoy! Fantastic. How are you? That's great to hear. How was your week?
It was good. It was busy. Oh, I need to set my camera up.
Yeah, I was just too. We ended up firing the girl, so.
Oh,
Well,
dang. Well,
we
I guess it was
knew it was coming.
expected, so.
Yeah, for the last basically 2 months or so, we kind of knew. And honestly, we fired her a couple days early because, you know, it just kept on getting worse. And it was better to be short staffed than to actually have her as an employee.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. So, there's that. It says that there is. As it says, attempting to resolve connection to server.
Oh, that's because I'm not fully logged in on Fantasy Grounds.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
when I said I'm in on Fantasy Grounds, what I should have said is I'm about to be in on Fantasy Grounds. So I forget that it
Okay.
sometimes takes a little bit to actually go.
No problem. So, no problem at all. But besides that, I mean, I'm actually really enjoying my job.
Good. I'm really
It's
glad.
great. Yeah, it's a lot better than the last one I was in. So, and I'm making I think I'm making like 62 a year.
Nice. We are on
So
Twitch, by the way, so I'm not sure if you're
I don't care.
okay. Just
Yeah,
making sure
no,
if you care. Yeah, that's good. That's awesome.
no. I'm not like I really don't care like if people know how much I make. So I think as a whole, the stigma around what people make is detrimental.
No, I agree. I agree. I just wanted the
I
if it
appreciate
was
that.
if you were under the impression that we were in a private conversation that no, literally the entire world is watching right now, or at least listening.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Well, I guess my sentiment is that I understand. I kind of assume when we start, or that when I'm getting on here, that we're on Twitch.
Yep.
So,
What I
and
probably need to
I'm
do,
fine with that.
since I don't have it showing Discord yet, since we don't have everyone, I should probably just mute the stream. I have it just on the be right back, but we'll see.
No, fair enough.
1 sec. Yes, babe, his teeth are brushed. Yeah, he's ready for bed, babe. Light off, and he's good to go. Actually, he didn't have prayer yet. Okay.
So yeah, no, that's just my sentiments. So, but
yeah,
I mean, it's kind of necessary because Sarai's working part time right now because of the surgery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
I've definitely felt very, very blessed that we're able to have just me work right now, or just in general. We're very fortunate to be in a similar position where that's enough.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think in our position we could not have her work, but it would be harder. Plus, I mean, the whole reason why we came out here is so she could be a professor.
Yeah.
So there's an element of, we don't want to quite give that up.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're doing well.
Yeah. Surgery notwithstanding, you want to stay
surgery
out there.
Notwithstanding.
She wants to still do what she likes.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think there's going to be some growing pains, and there are some growing pains, but I think that's going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's good.
So, I had a character idea that I wanted to share that I thought was kind of fun. So I want to play at some point in time an urban druid. So think of this: a street urchin, right? I don't care if like the age yet. I haven't figured that out. But the idea is a street urchin who his nature is the city.
Okay.
And so he is all about like preserving like civilization and things like that.
Okay, hold on. Have you seen not the first one, but the second, The Suicide Squad, the one with
No,
Idris
I
Elba?
haven't.
There is a character. What was that, Kayla?
I was just saying the second one was great.
Oh, it was so good. I didn't even bother watching the first one. I heard it was just not
Yeah,
good.
I saw the first one kind of as a background thing at someone's house and wasn't impressed, but the second one was pretty good.
Oh, the second one.
And it leads.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No.
I was saying the second one was great. It leads into Peacemaker well for people who watch that.
How was the Peacemaker show?
I've only watched the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Was it good, or how was it starting off?
It's entertaining.
That's good.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining. It's
I-
crass, like you said.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Suicide Squad was pretty crass.
Yeah.
But no,
yeah, exactly. But it's the few episodes I saw were really good.
That's good. That's good because I would say the Suicide Squad was, and I haven't seen all of them recently, but it was my favorite DC movie probably since The Dark Knight. I mean, I didn't watch the Snyder Cut, and I don't know, Wonder Woman was pretty good. Not 1984, the first one.
Yeah, the first Wonder Woman was really good.
Yeah,
albeit it does have some very campy
the
dialogue
act
at
was
the end.
so disappointing. Like it's like you were so close to something cool and original that wasn't just going to be like devolve into just action figures mashing together for the final fight. It was there. It was there.
Although there's one element of the third act that I thought was really good, which was Steve Rogers, or not Steve Rogers, Steve, whatever his name died.
The other Steve, played by Chris.
The other Steve, played by Chris. His death, on the plane.
Oh yeah, no,
was
absolutely.
Awesome.
That was great.
Epic.
And that's the thing is, it's like ultimately, I don't think I think Wonder Woman, the first one, would have been so much better served if there was no superpowered bad guy. If in the end it was her grappling with the evil capacity that humanity has. Because that was such a good juxtaposition to what she is, how she has this view of humanity is pure and good, and that's what she's protecting. And just faced off with that would have been such a better finish to just her realizing, oh, I did all this stuff. I stopped the person who's the big bad, who's at the head. And it didn't stop because ultimately the cause of the war, the cause of the evil is, I mean, what is it? The quote from Alexander Shoshin, it's in the line between good and evil goes across every man's heart. And that would have been so much better as the final antagonist of Wonder Woman over, oh yeah, it was just this ancient Greek god who's gearing for war and he wants a fight. It's like, oh my gosh, you were there. You were there.
Then I will destroy you. Like
I believe in love. Yeah. That would have been really cool if it basically, we have Steve, what's his name, dies, and she kills the person she's supposed to kill, and the war still happens. The war still goes on, and there's no magic. That would be such a powerful ending. I love that. I would be so.
How come you posted?
What do you think? Did you notice how many attacks of opportunity Nomad had last time?
Oh my gosh!
Did you notice what happened? So he's using a whip, and he literally got an attack of opportunity on 5 out of the 6 skeletons that were charging Sin.
That's right.
And he's just like trip. I mean, if you want to go like what he was probably actually doing, it wasn't one at a time. It was probably just a nice sweeping. He grabs the one and he uses it to sweep and trip the others. Just because the amount of, in order to make 5 individual attacks in that quick second, that's not possible. But yeah, so that's probably what he would have done. But it's like, yeah, he's just like a super.
It's almost as overpowered as me just taking it over everyone and making them my slaves.
Yeah, no, it's so good. I'm really excited to see how the stuff goes in this campaign. It's going to be fun.
Same.
You guys are off to a nice start.
And the answer to your question, Little Puddin', is how long will it take me to build my army of sins? Probably as long as the DM allows me to.
I mean, let me put it this way. You have your class mechanics. There are very specific exceptions that I've given you, a la Maleth, that allow you to do things that are a little bit specific to your character. As long as you don't abuse those, then We good.
I'm
You have the
I-
rules of your character. You have the rules of your class.
I'm intentionally trying to be kind.
Yeah.
Like I could have like said, "Hey, I want all 9 skeletons to go and barge to the door and go attack or whatever, or go swarm the other guy." I'm like, "Nope. I think it makes sense for him to just take a step back and just make a wall of skeletons around him."
Well, and the thing is that especially with, and I can't remember if this is raw or just the way that I've come to understand it, but with certain things like sleep and turn undead and command undead in this situation, generally if it's an AoE thing, it targets the weakest first, the weakest and most susceptible. And so if there's a giant skeleton and like 30 minis, then you can be like command undead, and you get like half the minis, and then the big guy's like sweep, and they're all gone. So
Yeah, and that makes sense to me.
yeah. But I don't know. I mean, you've got hit dice limits, and so
Yep.
the
Yeah.
strength of the undead you can control, like it's only so much. And
Because I can control up to
And it's what?
24.
Yeah.
But once it gets to level 10, I'll be able to control 6 times my hit dice.
nice.
So I would be able to control 60 hit dice worth with animate and 60 with with command undead. It's kind of ridiculous. So level 10's big.
Let's see.
Holy crap,
Erica
man.
is getting on.
Because right now it's 4 times my level. So right now I can command.
That's just standard, right? And it's your archetype that allows you to get the 6 times at level 10.
Yep. Right now standard is 4. Standard is 4 times my level. So at level 6, I have 24 hit dice that I can control with animate undead, and 24 I can control with command undead.
Sweet.
Sorry about that.
Nope, you're good.
You're good. Ahoy!
Oh yeah, announcement for everyone who happens to join on Twitch later. I guess we've only got 0 viewers right now, so they might not have noticed the change in time that I put on, but 9:30 is now the time that we're doing it. But
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. It's one of those things where I don't know how to actually send a. I should probably look into it, but how to send a message to my Twitch channel when I'm not streaming. But
Enrique, are you eating chicken or shrimp? Or both?
Chicken.
Can you fax me some?
I don't have a fax machine, but I can email it to you.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Hey,
Hey,
Erica!
Hey, this is amazing. I get to see your face. Now all we need to do is coerce Nomad and Malith to do so.
I don't think
I
that
mean,
would work
I-
for
I would
Nomad.
settle
It would
for, like-
probably break our computers with how attractive he is.
It's there is that.
Thank you.
Although
we would have to
Or
settle
something
with,
like
like
that.
paper mache.
Don't you like the
Copy of
tiny
Nomad.
picture of Nomad? He's a handsome lad,
he is a handsome lad.
and
Not
that
as
never
handsome as you
changes.
are.
No,
Although my heart
I-
will always be with Little Pudding.
No, Nomad, I actually saw a picture one time of you. At least legend has it that it's you. And I dropped to the floor, I gotta say.
oh, did you slip on something?
He fell for you.
I fell for you. I couldn't decide which eye to wink with. But thank you. Thank
Why
you.
not
Yes.
both?
I kind of did, actually.
I once drove partly home and my car died. Yeah, out of just sheer awesomeness.
That was.
You're killing
you.
it.
I remember that ride home. We were both. I don't know. It was just late, and we were both like laughing super hard at Sun. Oh my gosh, that was the best ride home I've ever gotten.
It was good.
Maleth, how are you doing health wise? I know you've been a little under the weather or tired or something lately.
She's undead.
Good day.
She's doing pretty great.
Nice.
I'm doing
That or
good
immune to
today.
sickness.
Yeah, because today might be the day that Jasper has something nice to say to you. you never know when it's going to come, and you just may want to be.
I am very skeptical of this.
Hey, if Jasper keeps it up, we have plans.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh, come on, Jasper's been nothing but nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity,
That's true.
how does Jasper feel about me just like brazenly going and like, making undead friends?
How do you think he feels?
I think he's very
Loves
uncomfortable.
Wait, hold on. He's very what? I didn't hear.
He's very uncomfortable.
Once he gets his leg back, that's when he's going to strike against you.
Can we
Yeah.
give him an undead leg?
Yeah, let's get some bones.
That's
and-
actually a thing in the Pathfinder rule set. It is incredibly expensive, but you do get some decently cool bonuses.
Guess who
And
makes
it's like
wondrous items?
necrografts or something. Well, they're expensive. Like, I think
Is that the Fleshcraft you're
yeah,
talking about?
it's either necrocraft or fleshcraft. It's something like that. It's
Okay. Yeah, we should do that, Sin. It would be incredibly hilarious.
I love this idea.
Yeah, okay, and again, just saying, we can still kill him, okay,
Yeah.
at any time if we change our mind.
It's true.
Nice.
yeah.
It won't be
uh,
difficult. Spellcasters are very frail. You just push
Yeah.
them over lightly, and most of the time they die.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's true.
So you do have to be 13th level. Oh wait, no, you don't. Okay, you need access to regenerate, animate dead, and 8 ranks in heal, as well as craft wondrous items, to be able to do a necrographed leg.
So next level. So like level 8, we're good.
And it lets you get a bonus on bull rush and overrun attempts.
I would like an arm.
50% chance to ignore caltrops. You can run longer than normal. And an arm.
Ow.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. An arm is twice as expensive as a leg. And it gives you a penalty on a number of checks. But you can lift twice your maximum load over your head. And you get a natural slam attack that does almost no damage.
It does almost no damage.
1d4. I mean, it's the same as punching. It's 1d4 bludgeoning damage for medium creatures.
Ugh.
Yeah, so it's expensive and not worth it in my opinion, except for story reasons.
I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
I would like an arm.
An arm or a necrographed arm.
A necrographed arm.
Okay.
Or we could you make your arm into a necrographed leg.
No. I'm good.
So you could run on all threes.
I get the feeling humanoids are not optimized for such a feat.
So GM, are we doing another opening
Not
exercise like we
immediately.
did last time?
We will.
Well, not immediately.
We will partway through the session. I just figured it would kill pacing if we did that right after what happened last time.
Absolutely. I know. I'm most excited about that. Second place is Sin's Pokemon collecting. Third place is daddy issues. I'm really hoping for some of that.
You're hoping for some daddy issues or hoping to learn about Malus daddy issues?
Why not both?
I mean, we could give you daddy issues.
Yeah, why not?
Hey,
You can call me
The
daddy.
more daddy issues, the better. No, I realize, let's see, how many previous D&D characters have I made that have dad issues of some kind? 3? No, 2. At least 2. So now
I
that think
know.
about it.
Kara definitely did.
Oh, yeah, Kara had daddy issues. Holy cow. that was like the daddy issue guy.
Daddy issues. The character.
Yes.
When he became a father, he was the daddy issue.
Yes. Well, if he ever did. Oh my gosh.
For some reason, most of my characters have ended up murdering a family member of some kind.
Oh.
Should your wife
Like-
be concerned?
I don't know. If anyone remembers Torin from, and actually, I don't think any of you would remember Torin from from the previous campaign that I ran. He was the
Wait,
character who.
was that the one when I had to dip out because I was the only person who was remote and it was just too hard?
Yeah,
I was
Yeah,
sad about
eventually-
that campaign. That was being very, very fun.
yeah. So eventually, Patrick's character ascended into godhood, essentially, and he took a moment to be the DM, and I made a character.
Yep. That was like the
And-
moment I had to step out.
Yeah,
I felt very
and-
bad. It almost looked like I was stepping out because Patrick was going to be the DM because it was like the same day. But
I
it
know.
was I think I'd already talked to you about it. And I was like, I'm probably going to have to dip. And then he switches, and I was like, so Patrick, it's not you or anything. You
But
can
yeah,
ask
he had
him.
killed.
Yeah,
He
go
had
ahead.
killed his wife by accident. So
You fridged your character's wife.
yep, I fridged my character's wife,
Yeah.
and then was trying to find his daughter. So, yep.
Yeah. Probably always tells me about that campaign and the conflict that he and the monk had. And that he was just like, if you try and fight me, bro, I'm just going to kill you.
There was some pretty intense,
I'm back.
like that campaign had some really tense character conflicts. They were
What
really
campaign?
interesting to navigate. The one that I ran with
With you
Patrick.
and with you
Yeah.
and the yeah, even when Patrick was a player, that was annoying. So I was like,
Patrick's character pissed me off, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Cool character though, but yeah,
Yeah.
his character gets me upset very often.
Yeah.
As a low will save gunslinger, that
Oh,
was
man.
not fun to put up with.
Melith, come back.
Yeah.
I do want to say
Turned it
though,
off because I was going to get a blanket.
Oh, okay, you're fine.
cold.
Here, let's
Thought you were
let's
saving us
do,
from
let's
the
do
side
like
of
2
your
or 3
cat.
minutes of talking, and then let's get started.
you should do another campaign though, Cam, with soul crafting. That system, like you made everything
cool,
in the
yeah.
world malleable, and that was so much fun. Like the possibilities that opened up, you know,
It was
for
cool.
every character, that was just amazing. It was incredibly interactive to have that system.
It
Do
was
it again.
super
I'll
fun.
bring back Yosh. That was I loved Yosh. Hi, I have a plus 18 initiative. I see that we're in
Oh.
combat. I go first. But
Yeah,
you
you're
rolled-
plus 32 to initiative.
Yeah, but you rolled a 1. Yeah, I'm still first.
Oh, that was so much fun. Everyone had made some really cool characters. I mean, Patrick's like demon child was just ridiculous and awesome at the same
Yeah,
time.
it was only the role playing that pissed me off about his character.
I agree, and we actually had talked about it, and I felt like
Promise.
near the like
You need to go
middle
to
of the campaign, he reined it in a bit. And that's part of the reason why we decided that his character would
ascend.
essentially be killed,
Yeah.
or ascend, or basically be killed off, is because of that.
Thomas, do you see everyone?
And then
You wanna
his
say
character
hi?
basically became one of the primary antagonists. So,
Say hi.
yep.
Yeah, I'm sad we didn't get to finish that one.
There were a couple pretty awesome set pieces that I had designed that I was excited to go over, but
Thomas is just
it was all right.
let's say hi.
Moving to Wisconsin and COVID kind of ruined things.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello.
Thomas.
Right, can you say goodnight?
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Thomas.
Sweet dreams.
Would you ever run an online campaign again, Cameron?
I have considered it, especially because a lot of the people I like to play with are online. Right now, I'm assuming most of you have heard of Curse of Strahd, right?
Right.
Right now, I am designing a Curse of Strahd campaign. So, pulling some things, and I don't know when I would run it, but I'm kind of combining a couple of old ideas and, you know, making it interesting. Something I want to run it at some point in time. So, yeah. And I love soul casting. I thought it was a really fun system and something I'd want to do later on as well. So,
Cool.
Mhm.
Well, I would love to participate in that campaign if you would have me.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
I'm always hungry to play more D&D. Is it Pathfinder you're doing?
It is Pathfinder. So
Sweet.
yeah, I think that there's merits to both systems, but I think Pathfinder offers a lot more customizations. That's nice. So
Right. I prefer Pathfinder for sure. I do like 5th edition, but yeah, if I had a choice, I would obviously go with Pathfinder.
Yep.
Like,
So
just can't do what I'm doing right now in 5th edition. Like, there's just no way, you know.
because whips are like stupid in 5th edition. They do nothing. So yeah.
They're
And
literally there just for roleplay.
Mm-hmm.
And I also just
Role-playing,
don't like. Sorry, go ahead.
Or I was going to say role playing a dominatrix or something.
Yeah, there you go. But and that's what's cool about Pathfinder. There's so many cool ways to make whips useful, and also, what I really dislike about 5th edition is that all the weapons are the same. You know, it's all a 20 times 2. I love the diversity of Pathfinder's weapon, like all different damage dice, different critical threat ranges, different critical multipliers. It really lets you diversify in so many ways.
Well, even like in elements of like simple versus martial weapons, like the rapier is considered a simple weapon, and it's not anything too terribly special. But in the hands of like an investigator, it's insane.
Is rapier a simple weapon?
I believe rapier is considered a simple weapon because it can be inspired. It can be an inspired weapon. I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check.
Either way, are we ready to get going? It's a little late, especially since we're moving half hour later because of daylight savings.
Let's go.
Okay. Nomad, would you give us a recap? Because you kind of held the last hand before we finished last time.
So we left the unnamed city, and we set out to find the source of the problem, which is one of those necromancers. I believe we went with the swamp as our first choice. And on our way there, we found some really strange, what looked like a war memorial of Lord Bellevant, and how he acquired his title, which we promptly destroyed and used for our own uses. All good, though. And then we happened upon a cabin afterwards. And then
The cabin was where you were going to. That was what your mark on the map was.
I definitely forgot about that. Yeah, so we found the cabin, and then we found a hooded man with many a skeleton. We did fearsome battle with him. I tripped many a skeleton. Sin charmed many of them. Maleth was making the blood boil of the necromancer. Gabriel shot a moderate amount of arrows. Jasper and Hestia were also supporting with their magic. And we managed to, after a little bit of chase, catch the necromancer.
Okay.
And that's where we left off from last time.
There was one more thing. As everyone
Before
was
he
coming
turned
down-
around and looked at me and said, "You."
That is where we'll pick up. The necromancer as you grab him, Nomad, as you begin tying him up, his face finds you, and with recognition in his eyes, he says, "You." Let's see.
I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm going to tie up his feet.
Okay, you tie up his feet. The other skeleton is behind you. It does not have a weapon anymore. You disarmed it, but it instinctively turns and begins clawing at you. What is your AC?
23.
Okay. The first blow glances off your armor. The second one ends up getting you in a weak spot, and you'll take 4 points of damage.
Am I within 30 feet?
You are about 60 feet away, so it'll take you a second to get there, but we're not in combat right now, like initiative order, so you could easily get within range to do something.
Okay. I would get in within 30 feet and just use Command Undead. I have
Okay.
4 left. So
Okay. Go ahead and make your charisma check.
oh, you gotta be kidding!
Man. Okay. The
Give those
skeleton,
earlies.
or at least you're unable to wrest control of the skeleton.
All right,
Okay, I will trip the skeleton then.
Okay. So, I'm not even gonna have you roll for that, Nomad. So with ease, you finish tying up the necromancer, and you turn and you trip the skeleton. And for context, as the rest of you kind of come in here, so this cavern goes back from where it came down from the stairs. It's pretty much just a straight cavern with wooden planked floors and dirt walls. You can see supports every once in a while. It doesn't look to be a mine, more something that's been like dug out and reinforced. As to the reason, you can't discern that from the area, but it goes back about 60 feet, and then it turns left, and Nomad has the necromancer tied up probably about 10 feet from the turn. And now the skeleton is on the ground, and Hestia is right next to Nomad as well, and now Sin has arrived. I presume, are any of the rest of you holding back, or are you all kind of going in deeply?
I thought that
Into the-
Malef and Jasper were already in the middle of the stairs going down.
Yeah, you guys are all at least down the bottom to the bottom of the stairs at this point.
Sweet.
I'll tell the necromancer, get him to back down, or I will destroy him.
The skeleton begins to start to climb up, and then there's like a twitch of his wrist that you notice in the necromancer, and it's a very slight motion, but the skeleton stops moving.
Can I cast a spell on him?
On this
Nomad.
Okay, what would you like to cast
Protection from evil.
on the necromancer?
No, on Nomad.
Oh, on Nomad. Okay.
I should still have that from last time.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, for context, from the time that you guys began the attack on this, it has probably been about a minute and a half.
Okay, yeah, I should still have your protection from evil
Yeah.
then from earlier.
Yep.
I want to look around the corner real quick. Is there anything over there?
What sort of vision do you have?
I have dark vision.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Alrighty, there is literally nothing over there.
Well, what's the? Oh, okay, yeah. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything. Your dark vision goes out to how many feet?
60.
60. Okay.
Can I look as well?
Yes. So, Hestia, Nomad, you pretty much glance down the hallway, but you're so focused on the necromancer and kind of what's going on that you may have looked up and just looked directly into the wall. You're not 100% sure. You didn't notice anything, and you're focused on other things. Hestia, what sort of vision do you have? Is it dark or light vision, or dark or
Dark
low
vision.
light? You have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you glance down, you hear what almost sounds like chanting coming from down the hall. It zigzags a little bit out of sight, but you can tell it goes probably about 20 feet. And there's no light, but you can feel something coming from that direction.
Can I send my owl to go look and see what's going on?
Yes. Right. And what do the rest of you do?
Jasper, slowly makes his way up and says, "Well, it's about time we finally bump into somebody that at least one of us knows around here. Who's your friend?"
A fellow member of my order. A member of our circle.
He doesn't look like the gallant and moral type.
No, he doesn't, does he? Can I look at the necromancer, does he have a sword?
He does have a sword on him. It is a rapier at his belt, but he did not pull it out during the fight.
Can I sense motive him? Get a sense because he just ended as a member of his order. Can I just get a general sense of both if he's like intending to attack or if he's kind of looking to looking for us to be distracted, things like that? Okay.
So, okay, while you're asking that, did someone ask him a question? Sorry, I got a little distracted with Thomas coming up. Did someone ask, do anything? Okay. So, what's your sense motive? Okay, 33.
It's 33.
Okay, so as you're studying this necromancer that has just been tied up, you see a look that you can only describe as patience on his face. The shock appears to be wearing off. Whenever his eyes go to, I almost said Leon. Whenever his eyes go towards Nomad, you see that little hint of shock return. But shock notwithstanding, the best description that you have for his face and kind of what he's feeling right now is resigned patience.
I will take his rapier from him.
Okay. With ease, you remove it from his belt. Do you keep it in the scabbard, or do you unsheath it?
I'll take the scabbard too.
Okay.
And then sheath it on my person.
Okay. So I guess do you actually pull it out, or do you keep it in the sheath the whole time?
I would pull it out.
Okay. You notice that the blade glows blue, just slightly.
I'm not surprised this is what did me in. You never were one to skimp on craftsmanship. I will sheath the blade.
I must admit, he says, I'm surprised to see you here.
Is there something down the hall? My owl says there's something wrong.
Who are you waiting for? Where were you running to?
Me? Where was I running? Calistan here was chasing me.
Right, but where were you running to?
Do I look like I wanted to be killed by him?
You're still not answering my question. Where were you going?
I was going to safety. Not that it made much difference.
What's
No.
safe? What's down there?
Nothing is down there. Not anymore.
Sense motive. I do not believe this guy in any sense of the way.
Yep.
In the sense of the word.
Me too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nope, that's the wrong.
Yeah, I was going to
rolled
say
the
a
wrong
plus one
thing.
is wrong. I'll count that as your actual 11.
So
but
it should be 27.
yeah. So all three of you can see the hesitance in his response as he's avoiding trying to give something away, but you don't have any reason to feel like what he's telling you has any bearing on reality. He's just talking. Calistan is chasing me down, likely because I killed him, or at least thought I killed him.
And you thought that I was going to kill you.
Of course. What else would I think?
I would think that you
I
know
wanna-
me better, friend, and know that I am not a killer. And that you should also know that vengeance is hollow and leads to the destruction of the soul. And I pull out the codex. Your own words written in the codex.
I know my
I'm going to whisper
words.
to Hestia something real quickly. I'm going to tell Hestia to take Wrath and go down the hall.
I start walking.
Okay.
I want to sense motive on Nomad with what he just said, the quote that he just said. I want to see if he
Real
truly
quick.
believes that.
Hestia. Oh yeah, go ahead and roll that sense motive, Gabriel. Hestia, are you
Mhm.
going down stealthily, or are you just walking down, or how are you making your way down the hall?
I will go down stealthily.
Okay, give me a stealth check. Right, and then, all right, Gabriel, with a 17 sense motive, you're trying to tell if Nomad believes what he just said. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Nomad, could you repeat what you said? Because I was in character. I was interrupting you as well, but as the DM, I do want to hear what you said.
The whole thing.
Yeah, or just Spark Notes is fine.
I said you should know me better, old friend. I am not a killer, and you should also know that vengeance is hollow and always leads to the destruction of the soul. And I pull out the codex. Your own words.
Vengeance is hollow and it leads to the destruction of the soul. That's what I want to know if Nomad truly believes that.
What is on your face, at least so far as Gabriel can see, as you say that? He had a, what was it, a 17 sense
17.
motive?
Yeah.
A scowl, but you don't detect any kind of untruth in that statement. He definitely seems like he believes it.
All right.
Okay, give me just a moment. All right, give me... Hestia, I'll get to what you're doing in just a moment. For the rest of you, I'm going to put a timer on while we do that, and then while we roleplay this, and then we'll jump to Hestia.
I think I'm gonna follow Hestia as well
Okay, all
because
right.
I just realized one of my spells I want to keep up, so I need to actually be
Okay. Go ahead and give
next
me a
to
stealth check as well.
Wrath. Okay.
Okay, for the rest of you, so you get that from Nomad as he's kind of talking to Brother Korlath, and Korlath looks at Nomad and says, "Cal, I believe what I said more than you can even understand. In fact, all that I'm doing now is in service of those ideals. We are to be free of the gods. You just haven't seen yet the best way how, the true way, to free ourselves. You focus so much on the death of a soul, but you don't understand that that death need not be inevitable.
You're speaking like a madman.
A
What's gotten
madman.
into you?
No, old friend. I am not mad. I've seen something much brighter than what you can even imagine. Perhaps you can be brought around to see it as well, with time."
I would motion to those and say go, and I would motion towards the hall. Leave me with them.
All right. I guess I will not continue with the timer. Everybody else, you are 2 rounds behind. I need an initiative roll from Wrath, Sin, and Hestia.
Okay.
I want to include that as
Actually,
this necromancer talks about, this bright way that death need not be the end. Jasper just gives a pitiful laugh, and just kind of a smile of like, as Nomad asks for us to go on, Jasper just has this smile on his face, like he's just relishing the thought of what's going to happen next.
Okay, so does everybody else go down the hallway?
Wait, Jasper, are you staying here?
Oh no, Jasper's going.
Oh, okay.
But I just wanted to let you know kind of what was on his face.
Okay.
This is your moment. He's not going to take away.
Yeah. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this right now. Unless you decide to intervene with what you hear down the hall, Nomad, I'm going to handle what's going to happen with everybody else, and then we will switch back to you and Brother Cor and this person during what is about to ensue. So periodically, if I'll say that you'll be able to hear what's going on, and if you choose to engage, then we can go from there. So just so you know.
Actually, can I just pick him up for now and just carry him as I move down the hall?
You will be. So Jasper, Maleth, and Gabriel, you guys will be 2 rounds away from Sin and Hestia, and Nomad, you will be 4. How does that sound?
Even though my speed is 20.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Hestia, Sin, and Wrath. As you're making your way down the hall, it zigs and zags a little bit, going slightly deeper. You can tell that the reason for the zigging and the zagging is because on some of the walls it appears to be rock where others were dirt. So while whatever this is was being dug out, there was a specific path or a heading that they had in mind, but as they reached things that got in the way, they had to go around them. So after going down the corridor for probably about 30 or 40 feet of winding ways, you see a small pool with deep red and blue candles. So the candles themselves, like the flames are flickering back and forth between this red and this blue and kind of dancing around. You notice 2 figures kneeling before a pool of what appears to be water. And
Can I make a perception check
Yes.
to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Make a perception check.
To kind of understand the situation a little bit better.
Okay.
Do I?
Hestia and Sin, as you're looking on this, you notice a number of runes on the ground. Some are arcane. Some look to be runes of some god that you're, at least from this angle, not able to identify at the moment. But you can see what appears to be a mixture of arcane and divine energy swirling in the air. And as these 2 robed figures are chanting, you see a 3rd figure begin to emerge out of the water.
Okay.
Are you doing something, or
I have
Or-
one thought of something I want to do. I just want to double
Okay.
check.
Yep.
The how far away I need to be.
so right now you're about 30 feet away from them. Maybe actually no, probably about 20 feet away.
Oh, I'm that close.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely.
Whatever they're doing, they were distracted enough that they didn't hear you guys coming.
I want to see if they're undead or alive.
Would I?
You can
With that-
tell that whoever's coming out of the water appears to be is a humanoid, but looks to possibly be undead. Whereas the actual other figures, they are robed and facing away from you, and also largely prostrate, and you cannot discern any other distinguishing features from them at this time.
Okay. All right. I'm going to. Blah. So I'm going to cast Bone Shaker on one of the one that's casting.
What's the range on that?
That is, I believe it's 30 feet or more.
Okay, yeah,
let me just
absolutely,
double check.
absolutely.
I believe that it is.
I mean, if
more.
it's probably the close range is the distance, which would be what 25 feet plus 5 for 2 levels. So I'd say you're probably in range, but that would be a fortitude save, I believe.
It is a fortitude save, and it is actually range is 100 feet
Oh wow!
plus 10 per level. So it's actually really far.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, and is it only 3d6? Give me a second. Oh, sorry, 3d6 plus 1d6 per. Oh, so it's 66 actually. Sorry, it's 66.
Okay.
I'll just do another 3.
Yep. Okay.
So 11.
All right, so you cast Bone Shaker on one of the robed figures, and he convulses and kind of falls forward into the pool. And
If he failed to save, I could push him 5 feet.
yes, so that 5
Okay.
feet, it pushes him forward, and he falls into the pool. And as he kind of falls forward, the figure emerging, kind of like the guy kind of falls into him, the figure kind of just shoves him to the side as it emerges from the water. And in the light, do you have dark vision, Sin?
I believe I have low light vision. Let me just
Okay.
double check.
Low light vision, if that's what you have, would not be sufficient. But
Okay.
Hestia, you have good enough vision right now. Go ahead and make a knowledge religion check to identify if you want to identify this undead.
I do have dark vision,
You
60
do?
feet.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead, both
Mhm.
of you give me a knowledge religion check then.
Okay.
So Hestia with a 26 and then
Nope.
So Hestia, you recognize this creature that is emerging from the pool as a wight. You also know that wights are capable of draining the life out of those who they strike with their hands. And that wights are quite dangerous.
Sin, are you gonna get close to the white at all?
If
Sin,
if
you
I
did
still
not,
have
you did not recognize it, by the way.
okay, that's
So,
fine.
just so you know.
So I probably would stay within 30 feet, and if I if it's still like my turn in the initiative order, I would just position Wrath in front of me. And I'm assuming Pride came with me too.
Yes, you have both
Okay.
of your skeletons.
So Pride would.
I can
Okay.
make you
Actually, wait,
into
you
a
had-
I can make you into a semi-physical form for a short period of time if you need.
I'm
It'll
okay.
help protect against
Hestia,
that.
it is now your turn, so whatever you do, you need to act quickly.
I'm going to. A second. I'm gonna cast Doom on the two humanoids.
Okay, only one is still visible. But, yeah. Okay, so go ahead. Now, remind me what Doom does. Actually, I can look it up. Other than being a phenomenal first-person shooter. Doom. Okay, Shaken.
I'm just shaking.
Shake.
Okay. Oh, I should. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so I'm just going to have you guys on the initiative order. I'm going to keep track of the enemies in my head at the moment, just because I forgot to prepare this encounter beforehand on Fantasy Grounds. Okay, so you cast the spell, and you see the other figure doesn't appear to react after you cast it, but he does stand up, and as the wight steps forward and snarls at you, let's see, Sin, you are at the front, aren't you? Or you and Hestia.
So I used my movement to get behind Wrath and Pride.
Okay. So,
Can I still do that?
can you still what?
Move?
You can move back,
I'm gonna do that.
but, okay, so, yeah. Okay, so the wight comes forward, and the necromancer turns, and go ahead and make a charisma check for me.
Okay.
Sim, specifically.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, my charisma checks
Oh.
are terrible.
Okay, just Sin. All right. So, let's see. Let me pull up the defensive stats.
That's the stupidest thing. 2 nat ones. Come on.
I know, right? Don't be.
Okay. Sin.
Mhm.
Wrath, being undead. What
Does he get a
bonuses-
save?
He does get a save. What bonuses
Okay.
does he get towards something like Command Undead?
I believe so. His will save is +4.
Yes, his will save is +4.
Let me see. I'm double checking real quickly. Save.
Actually, I think that regardless of any bonuses he gets, it will not be enough.
Okay.
You feel your connection to Wrath. It's almost like someone has thrown a blanket over it. You can still feel. Now, is it. Did you left the one badly damaged skeleton up above? Is that correct?
No, that's Pride.
Oh, okay.
I
Pride.
brought him down. Yep.
Was it the other one that you left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me get rid of that one. Okay, so Pride is here. And you can still feel your connection to Pride. But Wrath, it's as if a blanket were thrown over your connection to him. You can still feel him, but that connection has weakened. And then you notice the Necromancer get a slight smile on his head, or on his face, as he says, "Attack your master." And the white lunges forward for Pride, and let me make an attack for him real quick. So it lunges forward, and oh wow! So its first strike goes wide. In fact, so wide that it catches, like it lunges, and its hand catches the ground as it's trying to claw at the skeleton, and just completely flubs it, but comes down with a second hit and hits Pride squarely in the leg. And that's going to do, ooh, wow, a good chunk of damage. Okay. So Pride kind of drops to one knee, and you can tell that he's very close to death. And at this point, Wrath turns to you, and you get a sense of regret coming from him through your bond to him, as he brings his sword down on you.
Yep.
Where is his?
Did Sin make an opposed charisma
He
check?
did.
To that
Yeah, I did.
That's
I
what his
failed. I
nat
failed.
1 was.
Yeah.
Oh,
I failed
okay.
miserably.
Yep. He rolled a nat 1, and for context, Wrath's will save, he rolled a 4, and so he had sub 10 with his will save, so even bonuses wouldn't have gotten him high enough to have resisted.
You want me just to roll for Wrath to hit?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm not seeing.
Nat 20.
I mean,
Okay.
he hits. So go ahead and yeah, that's a hit, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's absolutely a hit.
Okay. Yeah, your AC is 11. Okay. So, all right.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
Oh my god.
So
Wrath brings down his sword right in the crook of, like, right between your shoulder and your neck, and the blade bites as it goes deep, and it brings you to your knees. The pain is so much that your eyes are just watering, and you can feel blood soaking down into your shirt and from your shoulder, and for a moment the world spins. You're able to kind of collect yourself, and again, you have this emotionless face of Wrath looking at you, but again, through your bond from him, you just feel this immense pain and regret as he drives his sword down into your shoulder.
Okay.
All right. Sin, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to. Well, Command Undead doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity, so I'm going to Command Undead as well
Okay.
to try and grab him. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming that he's. Well, he probably would need to make a save.
So go ahead and make a charisma check. Ooh.
And my my save is.
You're so right now all all of the undead that are in range are all under the control of another necromancer, so you will have to make an opposed charisma check.
Right, but they also need to make saves as well.
Yes. So
Okay.
but you need to make a charisma check.
Oh,
And
yes.
you got it. Okay. That was good. Okay, yeah. So Wrath will get a perfect. Okay. How appropriate. So he got a nat 1. I was going to so as his circumstances, he has turn resistance +4. So in addition to that, in a situation where you are trying to gain control over him, his turn resistance is not going to apply. Just because of your bond to him, he's not going to be resistant to regaining you as, the one who's controlling him. But he got a nat 1, and here's the reason why is, and again, because of your connection to him, because of his soul's connection to his body, it's actually the drastic resistance to what he's just done or been forced to do that just, like, you reach out with your channeling energy to try and gain control, and it's like, have you ever had a thing where it's like it's not connecting, but you like breathe on it and it just pops right back into place? That's how easy like regaining control of Wrath was in this moment. Like, it's just everything getting right back to where it's supposed to be, and his blade is still lodged in your shoulder, but you're able to regain control and just reflexively, now that his soul is back in control of his body, he just pulls his blade right out, and almost instinctively, like, he drops a hand to try and help staunch the bleeding as well. It doesn't really do anything because he has is these bony hands, but you can immediately tell the difference as Wrath regains control of himself. And the white, though, as you press against him, it's almost as if there's almost a whiplash. Like, you push against it and it's completely unresponsive. Like, you may as well be trying to put out a fire that's roaring by throwing a tissue paper onto it, is how it feels trying to gain control of this white. And it looks at you and says, "Pretty toys and pretty tricks you have, but they'll not work on me, not so easily." And the necromancer behind you, you see him kind of grunt as control of Wrath is taken back away from him. Okay, yes. Go ahead, Hestia, and no, okay, no, sorry. Sin. Okay, so Sin, you channeled energy. Do you do anything else with your turn? You do have a move action, and presently you no longer have any enemies in melee range.
Okay, I'm gonna step back. I still want to be within 30 feet of Wrath, but I'm gonna step back a little bit.
You will have to go around a corner if you want to be not within 30 feet of Wrath.
No, I want to remain within 30 feet of him.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, you can back up before going around a corner. You can probably move about 10 feet back.
Yep.
Right, Hestia, your turn. You saw Wrath just strike down or strike hard on Sin, and the other skeleton is being borne into by the white. The necromancer behind him is reeling a little bit, but still has a determined look on his face.
Okay. Is Sin close enough to me that he can hear me if I talk to him?
Yep, he's about 10 feet away from you. 10 feet behind you.
Sin, I can cast a magic circle against evil to protect us or to trap the white. What would you like?
Trap the white.
Okay, then I need you to distract him so I can start putting down my circle.
What is the cast
How
time
long-
on that? Is it circle?
One standard action.
Okay, so you can cast it. That'll just be your turn, or your standard action this turn is casting.
Then I will be casting it.
Okay. Right, and what does that do? I will have you look that up. Jasper, Maleth, and Gabriel, can I have you all give me initiative checks? You will enter in the next round of combat. Okay,
Let's see.
you'll have to tell me what it does.
$13.
I got 10.
Okay. Jasper is 16.
16, baby.
Okay.
Enjoying the view.
But oh, sorry, I was looking away. All right. So Hestia, what is it that your Circle Against Evil does?
The magic circle is laid down by silver, and if the circle of powdered silver laid down in the process of spellcasting is broken, the effect immediately ends. The trapped creature can do nothing but disturb the circle, directly or indirectly. Other creatures can. If the called creature has spell resistance, it can
Okay,
cast the
that's
trap one per day.
that is sufficient. So you cast this, and then that will keep the white in place in there. And actually, it will also, at the moment, it'll keep Pride in there as well. But okay, so you cast that, and I presume, do you back up or anything to stay outside of the circle, or what do you do?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of try and gatekeep it so nobody can touch it.
Okay, so the necromancer is on the other side. Would you go towards the necromancer to keep him away from it, or would you stay near Sin?
I would stay in between the necromancer and the circle.
Okay. All right, so you're able to carefully move past, staying outside of the circle. You're able to move past the white without provoking an attack of opportunity and get in between the necromancer and the circle. Oh, actually, I just realized it only binds one creature, so it's just the white that's unable to leave. All right, Sin, would you have your skeleton? I forgot to have him act last turn.
Good.
What would he do?
He would definitely attack the white,
Okay. All right, go
'Cause
ahead
he's
and
right
give
in
me
front
an
of him.
attack roll for him.
and that is the skeleton champion.
Yep, that is
right?
the Raider Skeleton Champion that I have right there.
Okay.
You should be able to just double click on his attack. Oh yeah, I just did it. Okay, so he rolls and he actually hits. Nice. Okay, so he swings at the white and strikes it. The white, cringes a little bit as it gets hit, but it doesn't appear to be largely affected. It was affected by the attack. It just didn't do much to it.
Okay.
So Hestia, you go on the other side. The necromancer turns to you, and he actually begins casting a spell. Go ahead and make a will save for me.
He's gonna have a hard time.
Okay. All right. You will take 9 points of damage as he casts Inflict Wounds on you. You feel negative energy suffuse your body, and a little bit of the life force drains from you. Okay. Jasper and Hestia, I need both of you to make a perception check. I'm going to roll for the white here. So the white strikes again at Pride, And sorry, one moment. Speaking of pride. All right. Sin, can I get a perception check from you as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, perfect. Jasper, when you come through right after Sin's turn, you will see this as well. In the pool of water, you see what appears to be the hilt of a large sword begin poking out, as if something is beginning to emerge. The white in the circle lays into the greater skeleton, into Pride, and tears him limb from limb, destroying him. And he looks at you, Sin, and he looks at Hestia, and you can see anger in his eyes, an anger that has this inhuman deadness to it that just like, I'm trying to think of a better way to describe it. That sounds pretty lame. So it's almost this mix between raw anger and emotionless calm as you look into this white's eyes. And he says nothing, but he simply stands ready, looking furiously at you and at the circle surrounding him. What do you do, Sin? To recap,
Is it my turn?
yes, it is your turn.
Or is because did Wrath go?
Wrath, yes, Wrath can go,
Okay.
and he is actually. He is currently in the circle with the white.
With the white.
He is able to withdraw if you so choose.
No, I think he's going because if he moved, he'd take an attack of opportunity, and I either want him to attack the white or attack the what's called the necromancer.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go for the white then.
Okay. Okay, so that's definitely a hit. With renewed ferocity, Wrath turns, blade still dripping with your blood, and just bears into the white. And just with a slash right across the belly, he cuts into the white. The white, steps back, kind of staggers a little bit, and it actually backs up and hits the edge of the circle. And you can see a little bit of a spark of energy as it hits the edge, and it recoils again forward back towards Wrath. And just, you can still see that dead anger in its eyes as it now focuses on Wrath, its new target. Now, Hestia, the perception check that I had you make, as you are close to the pool of water, you notice a large sword hilt is beginning to stick out as a creature of some sort is beginning to emerge. Jasper,
Oh, crap.
you come around the corner and you see, Sin back against the wall, blood dripping down his shoulder. You see a pile of bones in a circle of what appears to be silver dust. You see Wrath standing sword to claw with what appears to be a white. And then behind them, you see this pool, this ritual circle, and a necromancer who Hestia is staring down and pretty much having a magical duel with. And then emerging from the pool, you see a even fiercer, larger white beginning to, emerge. But again, this white bears a great sword on his back as he starts now. He's about halfway out of the pool.
As a point of order, just so you're aware, I forgot to add in that with Shield Other, Wrath has 1 extra AC and 1 extra +1 to each of his saves.
Okay, perfect.
So I added that in, just so you're
Okay,
aware.
excellent. All right,
Am I anywhere near there?
You are coming in next round. So once we get about halfway, or once we get to Hestia's turn, so I think Maleth is later. Once we get to Maleth, then I will have you roll initiative, and then you're in the initiative order. And then whenever it's your turn, that's when you come around the corner and can act.
All right.
But at this point, you can hear the sounds of battle. Right. Jasper, what do? You come around the corner. The distance between you and the pool at this point is probably about 30 feet.
And I imagine the pool, so the distance between the pool.
The
and from
pool isn't
and
very
beyond,
large. The pool isn't very large. I mean, we're talking like maybe a 5x10 pool of murky water.
Cool. So not the pool, but like how much space is there beyond the pool? Like
There
if I were to
isn't.
keep going past,
There isn't. Yep. This is
30
a dead end. At least
30 feet
Yeah.
from the pool.
so. I mean,
How far is Hestia from the pool?
she's like 5 feet away from the pool. She is just standing in between the first white, and the necromancer.
Jeez. Well, sacrifices have to be made. No.
Oh gosh.
What?
No. That was not real life. No.
Wrath is
Um,
also like right next to Hestia.
Yeah, that too, right? So, okay, now that I know that plan A won't work, I'm going to go to plan B, which is I'm going to turn one slot of Command Undead into that. I don't even know what we want to call it, but it's part of my positive touch, essentially.
I mean, what you're doing with that is you're converting one of your spell slots into a cure wound spell that only affects undead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally
In which
just
case-
what it does raw. So
In which case, I want to do the Ray version of that on the white.
which
the big
one?
one?
The big one
The
that's starting
big
to
one,
come out of
yeah.
the pool. Go ahead and make
Mhm.
a ranged touch attack.
Yes, sir. Geez, we forgot to add that in to my.
It is just your
Actions.
dexterity.
Oh, just my dexterity.
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
it's a dexterity attack.
So, in that
or a
case,
ranged attack. So, like if you go in combat,
just do
and
like
then-
my
yep, you're +6.
+6. Sweet. Oh, come
Oh.
on.
Okay, so you fire a ray of energy, and actually the reason that you miss is because you misjudge how fast the white is emerging from the pool. And so you just like right above his head, this streak of energy lights up the room just a little bit, and it hits the wall right above the white, and he stands up and he kind of glances back at it, and you see a grin form on his face.
All right, now let me see, because I guess there's quick actions technically. Which
I don't believe there's any that you are.
I don't think there's any that I
that you have.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
All
spells
right.
goes, there's like 2 spells that are swift actions, and one of them is Featherfall,
Swift actions,
which
There we
is
go.
not
All right.
applicable when you're in the deep cavern. All right,
All right, good. Thank you.
Hestia, your turn. The white with a sword is now almost done emerging from the pool, and he's beginning to draw his sword.
Oh crap.
And also, you notice that as he grabs the sword, the blade begins to almost glow, but in a black light sort of way.
I'm going to cast Thorny Entanglement
Okay.
right in front of the pool. So that way he can't move past it. And it should deal 2d6 points of piercing damage whenever they're near it.
Okay. And so, what does it do to? Does it do anything to slow them down? Oh, it's like entangle. It's entangled that does damage. Okay. All right. So as you cast this, now this would do you cast it in such a way that it also includes you and the necromancer, or just so that it would include the white? You'd have to kind of do it in the corner to only include the white.
I think I would have it include the necromancer as well.
Okay. So that will also include you with
Yeah.
your location.
Can,
So
can I move back a little bit to?
yes, you can do a 5-foot step before you cast it to move out of range. That will put you pretty much in a corner. So you'll be cornered, but out of range of the spell.
That's fine.
Okay. Right. Then let me see. What is the save DC?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Go to your actions, and it'll tell you what your DCs are for spells.
I know. I'm looking at it.
So it's a 3rd level spell. So if you do the magnifying glass on Shaman, it'll pull down and it'll be your base DC plus the spell level. All right, and Maleth, you are... Or no, Gabriel, you're next. So be ready. And then Maleth, you're after that. And at this point, you guys can hear... You can hear that stuff's going on. So you'll be able to, take stock of what's happening very quickly. I would hope. Okay, so the DC is going to be 18, darling. Let me see what the white's DC is. And what is the save on that? Reflex.
It also uses my wisdom as part of
Yes, so that's a DC 18. Okay, so as the white is beginning to emerge from the water, tangled roots begin to wrap around him, reaching into the pool and grabbing at his legs. And he actually very quickly is held fast by those. They seem to do, you can see them trying to cut into him as well. The necromancer as well is becoming entangled by the thorny spikes. Sorry, give me just a moment. And also, babe, the plants are able to throw as well, or at least they're able to attempt to throw. Oh, no, sorry, that's not throw the creatures. That's grow thorns and fling them up to 15 feet. Never mind. Okay, that's just the attack. I misread that. Okay, that would be pretty cool if they could actually throw the creature. But, okay, so the vines kind of shoot out thorns that hit the necromancer, and you can see he begins to bleed profusely. And the white is a lot less affected by that, but they both appear to be entangled. Gabriel, you come through and you see the one white in the circle, and then you see the other white in the pool beginning to pull itself out, and the necromancer held fast by the roots as well.
Okay, I am going to shoot the necromancer. Not the white coming out of the pool.
Okay.
2 shots. So, gonna be 2 attacks.
Right.
So
Are
25
you
to
using
hit.
many shot or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, that's a hit. Oh, yes, that's a hit.
And 17 for the second.
That is a miss.
Okay.
So for many shot, is that many shot and then do you have rapid shot as well?
I do not. I am still missing 1 point for base attack bonus to qualify for that.
For many shot or for rapid shot?
For rapid shot. Wait.
I think you've got
Oh.
those mixed around. Many shot is the one that has a base attack bonus requirement of 6, and that's two arrows and 1 attack roll. Rapid shot is the one that you just get an extra attack. That's the one that you have right now.
Okay. Rapid shot is the one that I use.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So,
so that was 15 to hit.
so
for
keep
the
in mind
second
when
one.
you use rapid shot, every attack takes a -2 that round, if I recall.
Yeah, it does.
Is that plus 11 including that?
No, that does
Okay.
not. So it's a 15.
A 15 and a 23. So the first one still hits. The second one does miss. But
Okay.
okay, so go ahead and roll damage. So you come around the
Okay.
corner, and you heard enough going on that you had your bow at the ready, possibly an arrow knocked even, and you spin around the corner and you take in to what's going on. You see the white with the sword being drawn, and you take a shot, and the first shot just nails him right in the throat. It doesn't seem to affect him like it would a normal person, but you hit him right in the throat. The second shot hits right above his shoulder, and then let's see. Okay, that would have been your full turn. So sorry, go ahead.
Those 3 die are my attack. So that is whatchamacallit.
Oh, that's right, because it's an undead bane weapon.
Yeah. So that's a 13.
Okay. All right, and then yeah. Okay, so you hit the white, and as the arrow hits the white, actually, you can see it reacting differently to him than it would against a living creature. There's a little bit of energy kind of percolating at the edges of the wound. Malith, you come around the corner and you see all the same things. You see pretty much you're coming around the corner as well as you see Gabriel just turn and just fire off 2 shots.
Right. Is it my turn now, I'm assuming?
Yes, it is your turn.
Or okay. How close is Hestia currently to the white and necromancer? Like feet wise.
She's like 10 feet away from both. But she is kind of tucked into a corner to the side.
Okay. Cool. I will use Flaming Sphere on the white.
Which one? The one in the pool or the one in the circle?
The
The one in the
one
circle
that's
is
closer to Hestia.
okay. That would be the one in the pool. Okay, go ahead. Make your
Okay.
Actually,
I thought so.
that's right. It's
Sorry,
just,
I can't picture things visually well.
you're good.
So
I'll try and have a map ready for combat that we have next time if we have any. But
yes.
so I'll give just a quick recap for how it is. So you come around this corner and it's pretty much this cul-de-sac that opens up. So you've got this kind of circular room with a pool at the end, and then you've got just a little bit of area with, you've got some ritual circles on the ground, the one necromancer that's entangled, the sword white coming out of the pool is also entangled, and there's just roots and vines kind of in that whole area around the pool. Then a little bit further back towards the entrance of the cave, you have Wrath engaged in combat with another white. There is a circle of silver surrounding them. And then Sin is back in the corner right before the turn. And, he's blood dripping from his shoulder, probably nursing it pretty badly. But, he's also engaged in what's going on. And then Hestia tucked around the corner, having just cast the spell. And then you and Gabriel are both right there in the entrance. So you cast Flaming Sphere, and this ball, almost foam type of looking ball of fire, just kind of appears above the white and drops just right on top of him. Let me double check something. So I'm fairly certain if he is entangled that he takes a penalty. Yep. -4 to dexterity. Perfect. Okay, so what is the DC on your flaming sphere?
16.
16. Ooh, okay. And that's a save or no damage, correct?
I believe so. Let me double check, but I think so.
So, despite
It
being
is-
entangled,
It's a reflex save.
okay, reflex
It's
save,
a reflex
not
save.
for half, just for all damage.
It is. Oh, sorry. A successful reflex save negates the damage.
Okay. So as the ball of fire kind of drops down, the white, despite being entangled, he kind of twists his body out of the way, and the ball of fire just drops into the water. It doesn't extinguish it, I don't believe, but it does not do damage to him. You'll have to move it up or around or somewhere to hit him or someone else again. But he's able to kind of move out of the way enough. All right.
Okay.
Okay, Nomad, can you give me an initiative? Now it is Wrath's turn. Cameron.
Okay. Did Sin get another turn?
Not yet. You're first in the initiative order. So as soon as
Okay.
this part's, or as soon as Wrath goes and we have Nomad's initiative, then
Okay.
we go.
So he's
So-
going to go ahead
Roll.
and make another attack.
Okay. All right. That is a hit. Man, I forget how much damage he does. All right. So with a final blow, Wrath, and true to his namesake, you can feel coming from him this anger, and you can only surmise that it's because of what he was forced to do just moments ago, and he is taking out that anger on this white as he beheads it, and the head goes flying off to the side, and you can feel almost a satisfaction coming through your bond with Wrath as the white's body just crumples to the ground, and the circle of silver that was surrounding and keeping the white in that area, it catches fire and actually burns up that whole area. Just like not serious damage, but just like all the silver just burns. Okay. The white in the pool is going next. Let me double check something. Since he is entangled. Okay. So the white struggles out. The white struggles out and is able to push his way out of the vines and the thorns, cutting at them with his sword, and he makes his way towards Wrath. The necromancer, let's see. The necromancer turns, and while entangled, he casts a spell, and you notice the damage and the wounds on the white fade away, and the arrow that Gabriel had fired into it, it's pushed out by energy as as the necromancer casts this spell. But the necromancer again is crushed and attacked again by these thorns and these vines as they're holding him in. Sin, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to do hold person on the necromancer.
Okay.
So that is the DC 18 will save.
Whoo! Okay. You reach out to him with your magical energy, and as you press it around him, you can feel yourself kind of holding him in place when all of a sudden he rebuffs your attempt. And he actually, as he does that, he shakes himself free of the of the vines as well, and moves towards Hestia, just to get away from the vines.
Yep.
Okay, Jasper, it is your turn. The white with the sword is moving towards you all. He has escaped the clutches of the vines, but other than that was not able to do much else other than get out of that area. And then the
You might
necromancer.
have noticed
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you might have noticed my screen flickering. I was doing some research because I'm still not as familiar with Pathfinder as I should be. But
You're good.
haste is a level 3 spell,
Yes.
so automatically I can, just by doing that, I can target 3 allies. Pretty
Okay.
much.
Yes.
Right. Cool. So I will cast haste.
So here are
That
the
will
people that
land.
you have in range. You can see Nomad coming from around the corner. Nomad, are you still carrying the Necromancer that you had bound?
If I'm able to see into the room, I'll just drop him on the floor.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So you can see Nomad behind you. He's pretty much in the process now of seeing what's going on. He's dropping the other guy. So you can see him, Gabriel, Wrath. I mean, at this point, you can pretty much see everyone in your party. So whoever you want to target.
Nice.
You should target Wrath.
So I will target Gabe, Nomad, and decisions. Who do I?
You know Megamind, where they're picking last pick for the dodgeball, and they're choosing between him and the girl in crutches with headgear or whatever it is, and they're like,
I'm gonna choose the girl in crutches with headgear, Hestia.
"You're hasted." Nomad, because of that, that's going to. I'm going to move you up in the initiative order to right behind Gabriel. That's going
All right.
to speed up your reaction to all of this.
Thank you, Jasper.
I'll keep a close. Sorry, I'll keep a close eye on him.
Okay. Do you do anything else with your turn, Jasper?
I walk up to where that friend of Nomad's is laid down, and I get my cane and I just strike it right into his, what I assume is some loose clothing on him, just to like pin that part of him to the ground.
Okay.
More intimidating than effective.
Okay,
I
I will allow it. Hestia, your turn. You are hasted. You can move very quickly. Right now, your move speed is like doubled. And you also have a bonus to other things. However, in between you and the rest of your party are the Necromancer and the White. They are both pretty... I mean, you're pretty much cornered. Only the Necromancer is staring you down. The White doesn't appear to be going after you. But, yeah, you're in a sad spot.
Give me 1 sec.
Yep. While you are checking that, Gabriel, it is your turn.
Okay. We still have that white charging us, right?
He is beginning to move, yeah.
Okay. I am going to shoot him twice.
3 times.
3 times.
Three times?
Haste,
haste.
if you do a full attack, which
Oh,
is what
that's
you
right.
have to do for rapid shot, haste gives you an extra attack at your max thing, which for you is all of your ones are max. So
Let
yeah.
me toss haste
Okay.
into the chat.
Yep.
That way you can. There you
Thank
are.
you. Yeah.
You can solve it. It's long though, so I'm sorry, but it's very useful.
The
if you
important thing
understand
is 30 foot increase, +1 on attack rolls, +1 on dodge, +1 to AC and reflex,
And an extra attack.
and an extra attack when you make a full attack. Okay,
Yes.
so
although if your weapon has the benefits of speed, then it does not
Yeah, it doesn't
get that
stack.
additional.
all right, Gabriel. Again, your
So-
first attack hits him square in the neck. Actually, like pretty much, if this White had scars, you nailed him like in the same spot. And then again, your other 2 shots just fly wide, just barely missing him. Go ahead and roll damage.
So that's 17.
And also keep in mind that...
22.
Oh, wow. Okay, we'll get to you in just a second, Hestia. All right, so this again, you nail him right in the neck, and the White grimaces in pain as the magical energy of your arrows, or as your arrow singular, kind of, it has this crackling effect, almost like salt on a snail, like it's just sizzling and
Ooh.
bubbling away from the wound. And where your other arrow hit him in that spot, while he got healed, it must have prepped the area, because this arrow looks like it went much deeper, a much more true shot. Also, he was a bit closer, so that probably helped. All right, Hestia.
Alright.
You see the two arrows streak past on the wall as they go past the white, but the necromancer is staring you down.
So I'm going to alter self and turn into a bird and fly over the entanglement and back to my friends.
Okay. All right, yeah. So you're able to turn into a bird and safely get past the white with the sword. Okay. The necromancer
I thought.
speaks up.
Do I get to go now?
You are after the necromancer and the
You
white
said I was after Gabe. I thought.
in the initiative order. Sorry, I don't have the enemies in the initiative order right now, just because I didn't have their sheets prepared. So you will go next. So the necromancer turns to the white and says, "I give myself to you. Complete the mission." And he casts a very he casts a spell. Jasper, you and Maleth are both in range and have sufficient ranks in spellcraft, so you can go ahead and make a spellcraft check.
$20. Oh. Ha ha.
Me too.
Okay, Maleth. Jasper, you, as you're looking at this spell, all you know is that this looks very unfamiliar. You're not sure. The most that you can determine is this: it appears to be some sort of necromancy and some sort of divine spell, but that's about all you can tell. Maleth, you're able to get a little bit more, but you can still tell that this spell is not a common spell. Whatever it is something very specific to, I don't know if I'd say these circumstances, but whatever is being done is not typical in magic. As you see this necromancer, almost, the best that I can describe it is, as he casts this spell, he pulls his own life energy out and pushes all this into the white, and he falls, a crumpled husk, to the ground. Like, and you can see as he hits, it's almost as if, like, imagine if a 1,000-year-old mummy were to fall to the ground, how it would kind of like it'd fall and then it would just kind of break apart and dust would go in every direction. That's what happens as this necromancer finishes casting the spell and his body falls and just hits the ground and just poof, as dust goes. And the white seems to be invigorated by this energy as it lunges forward with inhuman speed and strength. Wrath will get an attack of opportunity. So go ahead and make that attack roll. Oh, he is gone. I will make the attack roll for Wrath.
He had to get some snacks.
He had to get the snacks.
Hey, that is a very important part of playing D&D.
Okay.
It is. I'd be getting snacks right now if my wife weren't having a crap tonight
Okay.
in the kitchen.
And Wrath does hit him. So with a surprisingly good hit. Oh, wow. And almost max damage. So as the white lunges past, Wrath, cuts him on the side. But let's see. Gabe, you are the one who's been hitting the white, and he lunges at you as he's cut by Wrath. He brings his sword down upon you. What is your AC?
My AC is What is maze? 20.
20. Okay, let me check his attack roll. Okay. All right. So, Sin, here's what you missed. So, the necromancer cast a spell, pretty much eviscerated his own body, and he dropped and pretty much turned into dust as he pushed this energy into the white, who then, with a burst of speed, lunged forward. Wrath took an attack and pretty much hit him as good as he possibly could, right across the gut, as the
Ooh.
white lunged forward. Yes.
Could I have him make a will save, please?
The white?
Mm-hmm.
What for? I mean, I can.
Spell storing.
Okay. I thought that was on the armor, not on the sword.
So so it's on the armor. So like, he ran past.
Yes, he ran past
Sorry.
him. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Sorry,
Yeah.
I understand now. I thought he
Yeah.
rushed it. You're
Yeah,
good.
he rushed past Wrath towards Gabriel, and Wrath took an attack of opportunity and hit him. But the white lunges towards Gabriel, and with as he comes down, he stabs forward with this great sword, and oh crap! Let me roll damage. So that's going to hit you for, let's see, that would be 18 points of damage, Gabriel, as he stabs it right into your side.
Ooh.
However,
Mm-hmm.
roll a knowledge religion check really quick about whites.
— 24.
So you know that whites are able to drain the life out of the creatures that they strike. Though normally that's just if they strike them with their hands directly or anything like that. However, as the sword pierces your flesh, you see the blade just rippling with this energy, almost as if the blade itself is a black light, just kind of putting off this unholy aura, and you feel your life force begin to be pulled into the blade. You actually take 1 negative level.
What? Oh.
Oh, actually, hold on. It is a fortitude save. I forgot about that. Okay,
Fortitude save.
wait. No, okay, no, it's a fortitude save to get rid of it.
And when does that happen? At the end of his next turn?
No.
The negative level will remain until 24 hours have passed or they are removed with a spell. And then if they're not removed before 24 hours, you get a fortitude save. And then if you fail, then the negative level becomes permanent and must be removed via a spell.
Can I do lesser restoration for him?
It would be regular restoration that is able to remove that, but you'll have to do that a little bit later. Yes. Okay. So. Yes. All right. So you take 1 negative level as you feel some of your nimbleness, some of your capability is even pulled away. So it's almost like it really is just a part of your soul is being pulled in by this sword after it strikes you. Nomad, it is your turn. You are now able to, you're rushing in as you see this white come out of the side and strike Gabriel.
Okay.
Help.
And then Maleth, you are on deck, so be ready.
I'll swift cast a divine favor.
Which one?
And then I'm going to try to trip him.
Okay.
Whip it good.
Yep, That is I'm going to assume that trips. I'm not even going to bother checking his combat maneuver. So
I think it
Could
just
tip a
barely
dragon.
misses.
yeah, oh yeah, just barely misses. Yeah, so
Dang
he
it.
so he falls to the ground, and as he goes down, his blade is pulled out of the wound in Gabriel's side, and Gabriel, as this pulls out, it's you feel the connection broken between you and the white, but for a moment you feel something that you've never felt before, and you almost for a second almost pass out, but you're able to kind of regain your footing, regain your mind. The world stops swimming, and you see the white drop to the ground, but you can see his eyes, empty of emotion, are still focused on you, and you can already see his grip on his sword is changing. Let's see, Malith, your turn.
Sorry, I don't know how I can't keep up with when I'm muted and when I'm not.
It's all good.
I am just going to magic missile this since I'm assuming Gabriel is still pretty close to me.
Yep. Okay, yeah, you can easily do magic missile, and it'll just snake right around any obstacles and hit the white.
Yes, so
Okay, go
I'm
ahead
going
and
to do that one then.
roll damage.
Okay.
Do you know how to do multiple dice in one roll?
No, I do not.
If you right-click the dice, it'll bring up options, and you can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, or 20 all at once.
Okay, cool. I need to get my actual mouse down here and start doing that. That'd be way easier.
Yeah. Okay. So you shoot these magic missiles, and all three of them just kind of snake around Gabriel in between the gaps in him and just completely miss him and go right into the white. And you can see this black blood behind him as it kind of just spills out onto the ground where your missiles hit him. And let's see. Yeah. Okay. Wrath is up next. Sim.
Okay.
And real quick, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, it was me making noises at my cat.
Okay, 32.
32. So you notice that the white, again, moving with incredible speed, is already, you can see him changing his grip on his sword and winding up for an attack, even while he's still on the ground.
Okay.
It is Wrath's turn.
All right. Wrath is gonna. Out of curiosity, is there enough? Is there enough room to charge?
I mean, Wrath is like 5 to 10 feet from him, so you do
Okay.
not have room
Yeah.
to charge, but you're right there.
Okay, he'll make he'll go up to him and just slice.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
So that's what
make an attack roll.
That's what he does.
And I don't think it'll
You
matter.
got a
Oh.
+4
But
since
you
he's
do-
prone.
I don't think it'll matter, but you do have that +4. Yeah.
Yeah,
you,
29.
Yeah. So you bring it down, and furiously, he slams the blade down and has a very solid hit on the white. And the white actually, as you bring that down, he actually takes off the sword hand that the white had, the white's sword hand, and the white is still moving, but you can see the sword drops to the ground. And with an inhuman yell, the white reaches to the sky with its other hand, and you feel the air fill with negative energy. Everybody who is living, please make a will save. And
Are you channeling energy?
he is channeling energy. He's channeling negative energy to harm.
Oh yeah, I saved.
All right. Jasper, you will take 6 points of damage. Everybody else will take 12 points of damage. Again, Maleth and Wrath will not take damage.
Oops.
See, the benefits of being undead. I will be immune to that in 2 levels.
Okay. Sin, it is your turn.
All right. Well.
And then Jasper, you're on deck if needed.
Okay. Shoot, I have 2 things that I'm thinking of doing. All right.
You can, and by the way, you can tell this white looks really beat up. Like he's not holding on with much more.
Okay.
So
I was
just for context.
Okay, that's good to know.
You're not
all
in a
right.
situation where you need to blow a high level spell.
Okay, I'll go ahead and use my last bone shaker of the day. So he needs to make that will be I believe a fortitude shave. A fortitude shave.
Okay. He does not make the save. He does not make the shave. He's getting in there with the razor, and he nicks himself, and he's like,
nicks.
I'm done. I'm not
it's
shaving
just terrible.
this. I'm not shaving this.
Nope.
You
I'm not.
cannot shave him.
All right.
Shaving him now.
There's one, and so there's 19 plus another one, so 22 damage.
Okay. The white convulses, and one bloody stump dropping to the ground. The other hand, the one that he used to channel the energy before, it drops, hits the ground, and the fingers just relax and uncurl. And you notice the light in his eyes begins to settle and dissipates, and even his sword, the energy that has been suffusing it, also dissipates.
Okay. I was curious because I was
Okay.
thinking,
And
hey,
sorry, and one
Wrath,
more
go pick
thing.
that up.
And so as he drops, there is a profound silence in the room, and all you can hear is panting and the drip, drip, drip of water as it falls off of the vines that are beginning to now retract into the pool.
I look at Korlov. Is he doing okay?
He is, I mean, yeah, he's not really struggling. Jasper went back and pretty much pinned him to the ground by his clothes.
Okay.
And he's
Oh.
hogtied, so between being
I wanna go-
hogtied and pinned to the ground, yeah, he ain't going anywhere.
I want to go look at the water and just. Can I see anything special about it?
You can see no motion in it. Go ahead and give me actually a perception check. Well, actually, no. Don't even bother. Don't bother with this perception check. The crackle of the candles is still going right into in the 2 ritual circles to the sides of the pool, and you don't see any additional motion as the vines retract into the water. You see what looks like a lump kind of move up and then back down, but the water, other than that, appears undisturbed, and it looks to be almost... You can see that it's a little bit muddy water, but you can see streaks of red in there that look like they may be blood by the way that they're, collecting and not really mixing in very well yet with the water.
Hmm.
A little bit too much oil in the blood for it to mix properly yet.
Can someone take over for him here?
Wrath can go sit on him.
I'll stay with
Do
him.
it.
Jasper heads towards the necromancer that was near the pool.
As you walk by, I'll say, thank you.
Jasper nods and gives him a smile.
Jasper, as you reach the necromancer, you find a pile of robes. There is what appears to be a depleted wand nearby, and a lot of dust. As you look down, you can also see what appears to be some partially disintegrated bones as well. But
I reach into my handy haversack, and I lay hold of that item, and I discreetly pull it out. Does it resonate at all?
Give me a moment, because I need to pull you into another chat room, because I need to recall exactly what that does. For the sake
worries.
of anonymity, I will not do this on Twitch, so nobody other than you and I will hear this.
Ho 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 ho.
In the meantime, I'm going to go and heal. Gabriel, because you're hurt. Gabriel, is that right?
I'm really hurt. Like, I feel unexceptionally weaker.
I don't think I can heal your negative level, or your. I don't think I can.
Level.
I can't. I don't think I can restore your lost youth. At least not right now. But I can. If you're bleeding or something like that, I can heal you.
Yeah, I'm like halfway between perfect health and death.
All right, sounds
We're pretty
good.
close to that, so.
All right, I'm going to expend. Don't expend that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and heal you a bit. So
You'll bring me up to.
give me 2 seconds. Yeah.
Go ahead and jump back on. All right, I'm hoping that worked properly and didn't stop everyone on Twitch from being able to hear what you guys were talking about.
I'm just healing Gabriel. So Gabe, I'm gonna heal you. A total of 23 hit points, and you still need more.
And are you doing?
No, that.
Are you
that's
doing? Okay.
That brings me back up to pretty much full health.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Well, I'll just spend that one
Thank
then.
you.
All right,
Yeah, absolutely.
Jasper.
Anyone else?
Oh, sorry.
need
Go
some
ahead.
help?
Yeah, go ahead. Finish
I was just gonna-
finish the healing.
If anyone, I was just gonna. It's just if someone else needs some help healing, I would heal them. No? All right.
Don't forget, out of combat, healing is always maxed.
Oh, never mind. Then you
So-
healed, like close to 30. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, when you have time to just settle and not have to just cast in the spur of the moment, it's gonna heal full. Which for anyone on Twitch, that's a house rule. So, okay, Jasper, as you kneel down over the corpse, you see only residue. Although you can see a distinct, as you're grasping the object in your cloak, you can sense and feel and see a distinct residue leading directly to the white that had the sword. That is exactly what you're looking for.
I backtrack to the white.
And there you find what you're looking for, and you're able to extract it. Though it appears to be both what the white had originally as well as the necromancer.
Entangled together. I claim it.
Okay.
and
What do you do during this process? Go ahead and actually, everyone else, give me a perception check, and then Jasper, I'll let you kind of describe it as you will based on what others might see.
Let's see.
Sin, since you're the one who's most particularly asking, I presume you're the one you were asking about what Jasper's doing.
Actually, no. I
Okay.
was actually looking to collect some Pokemon.
Okay. Then I don't know. Is anyone
That's my guy.
watching carefully what Jasper's doing, or are you doing your own things?
Nobody
I
likes
would
me.
be watching, I
Okay.
think.
All right. So
I'll watch.
I would be
with
watching.
with a 23 perception, what is it that would be observed, Jasper? So keep in mind there won't be like they probably won't see anything that's not obvious to the naked eye. Likely.
Well, you see you see Jasper being decently discreet, where he's holding something close to his stomach. And
Precious.
he you see that he's kind of finagling with it a little bit, almost like he's not entirely familiar with it. And you can actually see like a little glint of something shimmering, like the candlelight is clearly reflecting off of something at like the front of what he's holding, but the rest of it is more of like a dull kind of earthen tone, like a light earth tone color. And I'm not sure if you would see anything aside from that. I'm not entirely sure. Would she?
I'm gonna say
GM.
no.
Okay.
Okay. But what is it that you do as you're doing this? So there's that slight glint. What action do you take, Jasper? I presume, are you like slightly kneeling over the body of the white, or?
I am. I'm slightly kneeling over the body of the white, and I'm whispering something as I kind of finagle with this thing. And you see me reach out with my hand a little bit, try to go like this. And then at one point I actually just bring forward the object a bit, and I bring it back to me.
You're not able to get a good enough view of what the object is. Nobody else, obviously Jasper can, but...
And then I assume the deed is done. All right. I get up and I dispose of the object in my pack, and I move on.
Before we go on to Sin and his Pokemon collection, is anybody else wanting to do something? So I guess if it has to do with the necromancer that's still alive, or it has to do with raising the dead, we'll get to that in a minute. Is there anyone who's doing something other than one of those two activities?
Can anybody heal me?
I thought I just did. Oh, you mean like heal your negative level?
Yeah.
It takes
Next level.
it takes restoration. I don't have restoration. I only have lesser.
Is it a 4th level spell?
It's a 4th level spell. Yep.
I want to talk to Korloff, but I feel really awful. I need to get a drink.
Yeah, no, you're good. We're going to do that in a minute anyway. Okay, anybody else?
I guess I would just say
Maleth.
Go ahead, Maleth.
you just see.
Oh, sorry, Jake.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I guess if Maleth is still looking, you just see like a. You see just like a exasperated like. But kind of like, you know, he tries to like retain it, but it just kind of like an exasperated sigh from Jasper, and I suppose a look of reverence and resoluteness on his face. He hasn't noticed.
Can
Maleth.
I sense motive?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I would also like to sense motive, even though my sense motive checks never turn out well.
Well, today could be the day.
Maybe.
I'll sense motive as well.
Everyone, nobody cares about what I'm looking for except for Maleth. And then everyone notices me sigh. Like,
Well,
oh, Jasper
minus
sighed.
one in mine.
Better judge what's going on there. He breathed.
All right, Jasper, what is it that they notice? What is it?
Oh, so great.
I'm going to say, despite your low roll, Maleth, context-wise, then you'll get at least a good chunk of this as you're watching.
Yeah, Maleth, I'd say that you noticed what I described, essentially, like what you would get from that perception check, basically, where just looked like he just gave a somewhat exhausted sigh, but he has like a calm. I wouldn't say it's like happy exactly, but it's not sad by any means. As for everyone else, Hestia, Sin, and Gabe, you would notice that Jasper feels a sense of relief and, like, perhaps a sense of accomplishment. Like he seems pleased with what has happened these past few moments. Do you feel like more is deserved, GM, from?
That's good. I think that's good. Though, Maleth, I think you would have picked up on a bit more of that. Just based on circumstances, you're paying more attention than everybody else. Like,
True.
in character.
Oh,
Yeah.
should I
So-
describe
I
more
was
to
more
her then?
interested
No,
in
I mean,
that.
you would have gotten a majority of that. Like, you see the satisfaction and yet the surprise, like, kind of like what you described to Jake.
Hmm.
All right. Anybody else doing anything
Okay.
or saying anything or?
In my mind, I'm like, good for him.
All right.
I just feel really tired
In game or out of game?
in game.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
guess out of game a little bit too, but
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, you're good. All right. Sin.
Pokemon! Alright, so the Dead Necromancer, he technically wasn't animated, so I should be able to take his bones and make him into a friend, right?
Call high or low. Let's see if enough of his bones survived.
Let's always go high. Always go high.
Right, you always say heads. Heads are statistically
Okay.
more likely.
Okay. So, as you're rooting around in the bones, there are a decent number of bones. However, most of them are beyond fragile. To the point
Okay.
where there's one of them that you're like, ooh, that one looks good. And you grab it. And as you lift up, like, most of the bone stays behind. Like, it just disintegrates as you try and pick it up. So, yeah.
So I won't be able to?
You will not be able to use
Okay.
what this necromancer left behind. The
I'm
only
gonna
thing
take-
substantive that he had left behind was his robe.
Okay. I'm actually gonna take the robe. I'm gonna take the robe with me. And kind of stuff it into my pack.
Well, Sin, here's an idea for you. You could take all of the good bones, at least slowly accumulate these good bones, find them, store them, and then eventually maybe you can make some giant undead abomination with them.
You see
You know
a
what?
look of disgust.
So you
on
want him
Jasper's
to
face.
have a Frankenskeleton?
That's right. He could create a giant monster.
Can I make a knowledge religion check to see if that would be possible? Can I do a knowledge GM check to see if that would be viable?
Right? Roll
What I
a.
would do.
Let's see. We've known each other for what, 6 years now? I'll give you a +7 on that check. Go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh, with a 27.
34.
Oh, that's an additional. So, all right. So your knowledge GM check reveals that it's possible.
All right.
You know that
I
right
will-
now it is not within your capability, but that creating such an undead is a possibility on the horizon.
You know what? Fair enough. So I start reading around, and you're like kind of like a kid in the candy store. Even though I'm like, oh man, not enough. And like, ooh, and like, I'll take this femur, and like,
Okay.
I'm just having a ball in the ashes of this guy.
So I'd say there's probably like one or two bones that you find that are
Okay.
capable to be reused, or that are capable to actually be used in the creation of any sort of skeleton whatsoever.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. All right. What else are you gonna? Are you checking around for anything else?
That was all my. I was searching for Pokemon. That's all.
You're not looking at the bodies of the. Well, I guess the whites couldn't. Go ahead and make
Yeah.
a. Wait, huh?
Go to make a.
Was there anyone else?
There was the guy that I pushed into the water, but I don't know what ever happened to him. Let's go check and find him. See if we can find him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go
ahead and
look
give me
for
a
him.
perception check.
Let's see if we can find Mr. Person. I guess either he died or drowned or was forgotten.
So, as you start looking into the pool, you recall that when you were looking into it before, and you noticed the roots kind of pulling back in, that there seems to be a lump that pushed up in the water and then went back down. And you find that lump, and it was the other necromancer.
Ooh!
Who
Can I
got-
make him into a Pokemon?
Yes, so you pull him out, and you can tell that apparently what happened, based on the large bruise on his forehead and the fact that his lungs appear to be full of water, is that you used Bone Shaker on him, and as he fell in, either he hit his head on the whites or the rock or something, but he fell in, got knocked unconscious, and then drowned over the course of the fight.
Okay, perfect. Alright, I am totally gonna animate dead.
Okay.
Alright, because I'm assuming he's under 12 hit dice.
Very much so.
Cool.
He is. Let's see. When you're creating it, what's your limit to what you can create? Is it based on the hit dice of the creature? That
It's
you
based on
bring
my.
back up?
Yeah, it's the maximum I can do with a single casting is twice my level.
But what did they come back as? Like, because I
So
know,
they come back as what basically what they were.
Yes and no, because I know that there's only certain types of skeletons and zombies that you can create. So
So
he was a spellcaster. He had 3 hit dice.
okay,
But for example, you can't bring him back as a spellcaster.
right. So I'll let you go ahead and make a ruling on that because it just says up to
You're bringing
twice my
him
level.
back. So effectively, what it is the ability of the undead. Since you're not creating an intelligent undead, what they were before life really doesn't matter. Again, obviously the exception per your backstory is Wrath, but
Right.
so for this, you have a body that is, I'm gonna say, capable of supporting 3 hit dice worth of undead energy. So using the spell, you can create from him an undead up to 3 hit dice, based on
Okay,
anything that fits
perfect.
in what the spell can create. So any of the
Okay.
skeletons or variant skeletons or zombies or variant zombies up to that 3 hit dice.
All right, perfect. I'll go ahead and craft him, and then
Yeah, don't
I will-
worry about telling me details right now. We can hash out details later. It will not be substantive for tonight.
Okay, cool.
All right. Is there anybody else who's wanting to do anything directly in the room with the pool? Anyone want to look at
Take
the?
a look around and see if there's anything that was left behind
Okay.
by any of the spellcasters.
So there are the 2 ritual circles that you can find. There's obviously the pile of dust that was one of the spellcasters, and then you see Sin casting animate dead over on the other that he just pulled out of the pool that's still waterlogged. I
But
guess not.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is there anything else we know about the pool?
It
Right.
looked like it had blood in it and mud. You've got
Okay.
the two whites on the ground, the sword of the one, and the other didn't have a weapon. There is a ring of ash and scorch marks where your magic circle against evil was. It it caught fire and absorbed itself after the white died. But other than that, there's a few candles in the room, a small pouch of supplies. You find a holy symbol, and that is it. A holy symbol of Nerul.
Can I do a
Okay.
knowledge religion on
Yes.
New Rule?
Oh,
Does he really rule, or does he like? Oh no! I have no idea who he is. I am too excited about my new friend. My new friend
Jasper,
Envy.
Nerul is. Oh, actually, let me double check this and not give you false information.
untrained. Get out of here,
Wait, what? Oh, that.
Gabe.
Okay, so Nerul is a god of evil, death, pestilence, and trickery. So
How do you spell that?
Nerull. And yeah, you know that often followers of Nerul will utilize undead. Evil necromancers and rogues will often follow him, and he is depicted as an almost skeleton cloaked figure with a scythe. I wonder who that reminds us of. Okay,
Yeah.
Curiosity. Can
Yes.
can we inspect the sword that the white had?
yes. Who's going to touch it?
I'm gonna have my new friend Envy touch it.
Okay. He picks it up.
Okay.
It is a great sword.
This is a great sword. Cool. Can so Jaspys, my buddy old pal, would you mind inspecting this for me? Please.
What did you call me?
Jaspys, you know, I'm
will?
trying.
Jasper just, with still that look on his face, he just waves his hand and does detect magic.
Malith would have burst out laughing when she heard Jaspys, but then quickly tried to suppress it. So
He's cast detect magic, but he hasn't broken eye contact with Sin.
Go ahead and roll your spellcraft check.
I mean,
Yes,
we
sir.
need a team name, and we need nicknames.
Natural one, just for you.
Oh boy. Just not wanting to put the effort forth, like, oh.
There, I cast it. I'm not sure what it is. So yeah, you cast the spell, look on the object, but you don't even break eye contact with Sin, and so you actually don't even notice anything about the sword. So like, however, whatever you say, that's up to you, but you don't even pay attention to it long enough to get anything from it.
All right, I'm gonna
Well,
cast
it's,
detect magic just to find out if it's
still-
magical.
Still got its spark there, if that's what you're wondering.
So it is not magical.
Okay.
It is, however, there is an aura around it that is a necromantic aura that is slowly dissipating.
Okay. Cool. All right.
I think we're done here. Jasper casts Drench, and he douses the candles that are still lit around the pool.
Do you have dark vision, Jasper?
No, I have the Iron Stone.
Oh, okay. And does that have light? Is that light
Yeah.
or does okay? Cool. I forgot about that. Yeah. So okay. Malith, anything? I can't remember if you were saying something. I thought I heard something coming from your end.
I was gonna offer to do detect magic on the swords after Jasper failed, but then beat me to it. So
Okay. All right. As you're all finishing that up, let's see. Nomad has a few moments alone, at least, with a person, with the captured, currently only living enemy in the area, or not even limited, currently only animated enemy in the area. Although the skeleton is still back there on the ground, unarmed.
He'll be fine. He can sit and think about what he did. Well, I'll turn to him and I'll say, "So, what's your end goal then?
Go ahead and roll a
The
sense
point of all
motive
this."
check really quick.
Oh yeah.
You can't, I'm not going to give you any details, but what you can tell as you're looking at him now, his demeanor has changed drastically from before you came back here and fought and killed the whites to now. He looks less calm, less patient, and less sure. Can you repeat your question, Nomad?
So tell me again, what was the point of all of this? What you're doing?
You mean you haven't figured it out yet?
I wouldn't be asking if I didn't know.
He looks at you. That is a good question, isn't it? To answer, we're making a better world. A better Zelkir.
By slaughtering innocents? You would burn this continent with what you're doing.
No. You're too short-sighted to see, Cal. You're too short-sighted to understand. So many choose to be beholden to the gods, and yet those of us who would disconnect ourselves from them face an ultimate death, an ultimate undoing, that no matter what we do to separate ourselves from them here, it is fruitless.
A pure death. A free death. Not one that we owe to anyone.
Think what you will.
We aren't doing this because we think that we deserve a good reward for dying. This is about making a better world for everybody.
And we will. We will make a better world. A world not beholden to the gods. But we must get there first.
You are a daft fool. The whole point of the Order was not to free people from the gods. It was about making the world a better place. I don't even know why I'm trying to convince you. I'm going to stand up. You might look like Brother Korloff. You might sound like him. You might talk like him. But you are not him. And I've had enough of this mad conversation.
Okay, give me just a moment. As you stand up, he says, Thalbrim always was better with words than I. He said that you would take some time to come around, to understand. I'm not someone capable of articulating it properly, of showing you the opportunity that lies before us. Perhaps he can. Perhaps he will.
You act as if there's nuance, subtlety to what you've done, as if you are making the world a better place. Did you forget that you burned the Order? You killed Thero, you killed my wife. Everyone. Good, honest, innocent people slain in a single night.
A moment
Something
of
so
weakness.
good you destroyed.
A moment of weakness. As we are coming to understand the changes that are happening. Believe me, I took no delight in what we did. But just as a forest must burn before it can regrow, just as a caterpillar must enter the cocoon and die before it can emerge a butterfly,
I take my other whip out and I gag him. I've had enough.
he struggles against it for a moment. And then, resigned, he ceases.
You are a madman, Korloff. I don't know what's happened to you. You were once a dear friend. I'm not sure what I'll do with you next. But I will take you back to the city. They will probably want to hang you for your crimes against the people. And publicly, the people in that street will see the folly of evil. And I'm going to sling him over my shoulder.
Okay. And it's at the end of that, as the rest of you are able to come back, you'll have caught bits and pieces of that exchange.
Yeah, I was curious how much we would have heard.
Brother Korloth would not have been keeping his voice down, but yeah.
While Nomad got really loud towards the end, talking about the atrocities that Korloff committed, Jasper just hangs his head down. Maleth, I guess I don't know if you're paying attention to Jasper or if you're just looking at this heated conversation.
Maleth is always going to be on alert around Jasper.
Well,
right now.
That once like
And like,
surprised, like somewhat like concerned, surprised, and then resolute and accomplished look that Jasper had. He now has forgotten that feeling and is just looking down with pain.
yeah. Maleth is going to stand there awkwardly, not sure if Jasper just looks that way because of what we just walked into or not, and she's just going to be kind of sitting there like, I have no clue how to comfort anyone. Just
I'm gonna
standing
I'm gonna lean over to Nomad and whisper, "This might not be the right time." And I don't know how close you were, but like, I mean, we could always just like, you know, and just kind of like give him a knowing look. And I mean,
Like off him? Saying?
well, we bring him back.
This is Nomad's moment. Let him do with his colleague as he may.
I appreciate the offer, Sam.
Maleth will nod.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was saying Malith would nod along with Jasper and say, I agree, it's your choice what happens to him.
I appreciate the offer, Sin. And while that would be the easy thing to do, I haven't come this far to give up my beliefs now. Especially for somebody like him. I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know if this really is him. But nonetheless, he was a dear friend for a long time. And I will not mistreat him. I will honor him like my order would want me to honor him.
Malith is gonna ask, so what exactly does that entail, out of curiosity?
Yeah, what do we do?
If possible, I will take him back to the city, where he will be imprisoned. I would prefer that they don't hang him immediately. I'd like to see if there's something wrong with him. If a cleric can maybe take a look at him. I don't know. Actually, that reminds me. I'll set him down. Would anybody with detect magic do me a favor? See if there's anything wrong with him right here,
Sure.
right now.
Malith says sure, and she'll use detect magic.
So will I. Or can I assist in that?
I think just Malith.
Okay.
He used to be a man that was far better than me. Far better than many people I know.
Is he still gagged?
Snickers!
Yep.
All right, go ahead and roll your spellcraft, Malith.
Okay.
Oh, and if anyone would like to take a look at this. And I pull out the rapier.
Well, 20.
Okay, with a 20.
Right.
So he doesn't have any magical auras on him. Yeah, no magical auras on him.
Jasper would offer his hand out for the rapier.
I'll hand it to you.
Text magic.
Go ahead and
My headphones went out and it didn't switch to my computer well,
you're
and
good.
so
So
I didn't hear anything.
he doesn't have any enchantments on him. No magical auras on him. Jasper,
I'd relay that.
Okay.
Jasper, you recognize that this is a +1 rapier.
Minor enhancement.
Thank you. And I'll sheath it.
And Nomad, you said he's still gagged.
Yeah, I will take the gag out just briefly, though. And I'll kneel down and say, just one last thing. Where is Helbrim?
Last I saw him, he was heading towards the capital. He was with one of the vampires.
Malith's
Ew.
interest is suddenly very piqued.
Jasper already says who.
Yeah, Malith is also going to ask who, what vampire.
The same time, we both say who.
Yes, simultaneously we're like, who? For entirely different reasons.
Here, 1 second. Let me... Malith, I need to send you a message real quick. So I don't want to dig through your backstory real quick.
Yeah, Malith, why'd you give him 7 pages of backstory? I don't want to read that.
Well, it's not that I don't want to read it. It's I can't remember
I'm
the
just kidding.
specific answers in a specific place, and I don't want to dig
I'm
through
just
7
kidding.
pages to find out. So I loved you guys' backstories, by the way. I'm very happy with what you gave me. All right, so um, Brother Korloff looks at both of you, and he seems a little bit taken aback by the fervor with which you speak. He answers, "I saw him with the sorry, I saw him with the vampiress. Emmeline Tempest is what she calls herself. But the other is always somewhere close at hand. I do not know
The other?
the one who will be king. He does not give his name. Little is known about him, but no, it was with Lady Tempest that Helbrim was last seen by me. And
See-
as after
you see
the gag was taken out, he is very deliberately not looking towards Nomad at any point. He's averting his eyes from him. He focuses on anyone else who will talk to him, but he does not. He tries his best not to meet Nomad's gaze.
Mean by the one who would be king.
There's a great vampire here in Zelkir who, when all of this is finished, when Zelkir has been transformed into the land that it was always meant to be, the land of the pure, that he will be its ruler.
And do you know his name?
I do not. Few know his name. Few have even seen him. He usually does not deign to be among the more common folk. He keeps to himself and lets others keep to themselves, save when he needs to. And those who cross him are met with his fury. Other than that, I cannot say.
He expects to be a ruler without ever having to engage with anyone. Interesting.
Our ways in Zelkir are not what you may be accustomed to. And the ways of the Zelkir that is to come are even farther different from that.
What makes you describe the rule under this nameless vampire as purer than what exists now? I'm genuinely curious.
It is not his rule that makes it pure. It is the transformation that is coming to Zelkir. For Zelkir itself and all its inhabitants to be made more pure. Freed
What
from
do you mean
death,
by
freed from the gods, freed from the shackles that hold us back. Able finally to be free. To be ourselves. Unchained. And throughout this whole conversation, you hear an almost defeated sound from his voice. Like he's saying something, but at the moment he doesn't seem to have much hope in his voice. He's giving his words as if he's sitting on the chopping block, ready for the headsman's axe to fall.
occurred to you that being unable to die might be undesirable?
A small smile shows on his lips. I know much more than you might think. Life is not without pain. Often we trade one kind for another. Some are willing to endure the shackles of the gods, of outer influences, of those who would subjugate them and control them. That is a pain which I do not wish, not on myself or on any who would be willing to forego it. Other forms of life, or as you might term it, unlife, carry with them their own types of pain. And yet, some pain is more tolerable than others.
Well, thank you for answering my questions.
I want to
You've
sense motive.
soiled the ideals of the order, spit upon what they mean, and twisted them to fit your own ends. But listen, brother, I'm willing to forgive what happened here. You know that you know that our order had a relationship with the Queen. Perhaps I can bargain with her. You don't have to die. This doesn't have to end for you here. It's not too late to come back. The hell are you laughing at, Jasper?
That was out of character.
Oh, okay.
What the hell are you laughing at, Jasper?
Yeah, that laughter
Right.
was out of
For-
character, Jasper.
For a moment, Korloth looks up at you. You speak of the Queen as if she were my enemy. You have no idea what is at work here in Zalkir, do you, Calistan? You have no idea what is coming. The opportunities that are on the horizon. The glory of what we will be. I don't think that I can convince you. No. Helbram knew that. After your wife wouldn't see, we knew that you wouldn't either. You would need time. But you are not out of opportunities. There is still a place for you, Calistan. And with that, he lowers his head again and refuses to meet your gaze.
And let me guess. Thero probably figured everything out, and that's why you had him killed.
He shakes his head. It was too much for you to understand at this time. Perhaps you will see. Perhaps you will not. But in the end, your fate is your own to decide, brother. Your fate is
You're
your
damn
own.
right it is. And starting with you, I'm going to unravel this entire mad grand design. I'm sorry it had to be this way. And I will regag him.
You just hear Jasper, as you gag him, you just hear Jasper like mutter to himself. Good. and you can see that the hand holding his cane is kind of shaking.
And I will just begin to just walk out.
Are you carrying him?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that is all the stuff that I had planned for tonight. If we want to do any more role playing, that is totally fine. But I'm also good to call it whenever you guys are ready to call it.
I'm fine either way.
Okay.
More role play is always fun, but it is kind of late, so whatever.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Okay.
But just I need to know, after a long rest, does anybody have the ability to restore me?
Yes, I can heal you.
Oh,
You
sweet.
Oh,
can cast
I'm
Restoration.
sorry. Restoration, right. No, I can't. I keep forgetting that.
Okay.
We'll have to
has
we
go
go
back to town.
We go back to the capital. Yeah, there might be a cleric that we can just buy a restoration
Mhm.
from.
Not the
Okay.
capital. The
Barrowain.
The one town.
the last standing city, Zelkir.
Wait, the capital fell?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, at
Yes.
least it hasn't been heard from. There's been no contact from the capital, and just a recap of the conversation between Bellevant and,
Gregory.
well, yes, but
Vokelian.
Vokelian was that they haven't had word from the Queen in months.
And
Ever
your friend
since-
here is
yeah.
just mentioning the Queen, hinting that she's perhaps his ally, which is disturbing news. And that your friend, in common, is paired by a vampire named Emmeline Tempest, who both of them serve a vampire who is destined to be king, supposedly, over this new Zelkir they're making. At least that's what I got out of
Can I
it.
roll? Yeah. Can I roll some sort of knowledge check, like maybe knowledge local, to see if I knew anything else about the queen or the vampires named or anything like that beyond what's his name said?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, would that be knowledge local or something else?
I think yes, knowledge local.
Oh, 14. I don't know why it says I'm untrained in that. That makes no sense. Oh, I see why I didn't actually put ranks in it.
Oh yes, that would do it.
That's weird.
You can always fix it next level.
I will be.
Does the vampirus ring any bells to Jasper?
Only bells that have already been rung.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. As far as what you know, Maleth, that I don't think you would know anything beyond what he's given. This is the first. I mean, you had suspicions regarding vampires, but this is the first that you've heard of any notorious vampires in the area.
Wait, hold on. I have another question.
Yes.
So this vampire in question, not the vampirist, but the vampire, does this ring any bells per Jasper's?
I mean, here's what I'll know. Here's what you do know is that. Actually, go ahead and roll me a knowledge geography check.
26.
26. So the vampire that you had originally hunted was named Pietro, and you know that his name and the stuff around him, it actually has history in Zelkir. So he, at least, the vampire that you had chased down and had been Pietro, the one that you had been unable to kill, was at least had some historical connections to Zelkir.
Okay.
Like the roots of the name and such. Accent, things like that. So I mean, it's not a guarantee, but that's the only notorious vampire you know of, and there's a possible connection, flimsy though it might be.
Yeah. Thank you. That's all the role. I mean, I don't know if I'm down for role playing if anybody wants to do it, but I'm not sure I'm going to be initiating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for next week, then I will have a prompt. I'll send it to you guys beforehand to talk about at the start. I didn't want to insert that in the middle of what we were starting out today for obvious reasons based on what happened. But yeah, so we'll get to that at the start of next session. But for now, our adventurers leave behind this old tomb. Now, or at least now a tomb, as you leave behind the bodies of both wights and the bones of a skeleton and the necromancer. The pool of water, mud, and blood stays where it was. How deep it goes, you know not. But how deep the conspiracy that is currently being uncovered here in Zelkir, you also don't know how deep that goes. Perhaps time will tell, and as you emerge from this tomb and as you emerge into the light of the day that is now dawning, perhaps light will also shine down on your mission. But that is where we will end it tonight.
Cool. Will we
Okay.
have the chance to rest before next session?
That's a good question. Are you guys going to try and rest? It is currently like mid-morning.
I would like to.
It is mid-morning or earlier. And
Fine.
you don't know what has happened outside of here. You haven't gotten outside yet, so you'll have to see.
Okay.
Malef is excited to not sleep.
Sid is like bleeding still out of his body. Is just like, yeah, I could go on. I'm good. Yeah, let's do
Malef
this.
is just wanting to get spells back.
I could probably take one more hit from Wrath.
Did you do any healing
Malef.
of Wrath, by the way? Sid?
Wrath didn't get hit.
Oh, that's right. I thought he took damage last time. Nope, he did not. Okay.
Wrath never got hit. Yep.
Nice.
So, but I took like 53 damage.
Yeah. Yup.
Also, bear in mind, if I die, so do you, Maleth.
Well, kind of.
Not really.
She
Whoa.
becomes
Terrifying.
unconnected.
I'm just being silly.
Right. Anything else, or am I good to end the stream?
You're awesome.
I think
Thank
we're good.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night.